Hello and welcome to Amit's Tech Sessions. My name is Amit and I'm a software architect. In this video, I'm going to cover how you can actually set up a three-tier architecture on AWS by using only serverless technologies where you don't need to manage or maintain any servers. So first, let's understand what is a three-tier architecture. A three-tier architecture is a well-established software architecture that organizes the application into three specific tiers, which are web tier, application tier, and data tier. Right. So the web tier represents your presentation of the application. It is generally your web user interface or the communication layer where users interact with your application. Application tier, also known as logic tier, it processes all the data which has been collected by the web tier. Application tier is also responsible to write or update the data in the data tier. Application tier, it is typically your backend service or APIs, which are written in any chosen programming language such as Java, Python, Go, or any other language. The data tier, also known as database tier, it stores and manages the data of your application. This tier can be a relational database system or NoSQL database or a document-based database or any choice of the database. So if you want to deploy your web tier or user interface tier on AWS without managing any servers, S3 or simple storage service is the preferred choice. Right? You can deploy your web application using S3 bucket, and then you can use CloudFront to front that application. Right? So S3 or Amazon Simple Storage Service, it is an object storage service that offers industry-leading scalability, data availability, security, and the performance. Amazon CloudFront, it is a web service that speeds up the distribution of your static and dynamic content such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and image files to your users. CloudFront, it delivers your content through a worldwide network of data centers, which is called edge locations. So when a user requests the content that you're serving with CloudFront, the request is routed to that particular edge location that provides the lowest latency, or you can say the time delay, right? So that content is delivered with the best possible performance to the users. So with this architecture, you can serve your web tier and you do not need to manage and maintain any servers. So to deploy the application tier on serverless, you can choose a combination of Amazon API Gateway and AWS Lambda. Amazon API Gateway, it is a fully managed service which is offered by AWS that makes it easy for developers to create, publish, maintain, monitor, and secure APIs at any scale. And AWS Lambda is a serverless compute service offered by AWS that lets you run code without provisioning or managing servers. API Gateway, it integrates with Lambda and provide a full-fledged API functionality to the end users. Here, API Gateway works as a front door for your application tier, and then Lambda performs the business logic of your application. So in this architecture, your web tier can communicate with the APIs, and then these APIs will be hosted on API Gateway, and Lambda function will provide the application or business logic. So to deploy the data tier on AWS serverless, you can choose a database which is serverless. That means that you do not need to manage any servers or instance yourself. If your design or use case needs relational database, then your serverless database choice is most probably Aurora Serverless. So before going into Aurora Serverless, let's understand what Amazon Aurora is. So Amazon Aurora is a fully managed relational database engine, which is compatible with MySQL and PostgreSQL. Aurora can deliver up to 5 times the throughput of MySQL and up to 3 times the throughput of PostgreSQL. Aurora is not serverless. Hence, customers demanded for serverless version of Aurora from AWS. So AWS launched Aurora Serverless. Aurora Serverless is an on-demand auto-scaling configuration for Amazon Aurora. Aurora Serverless, it helps to automate the processes of monitoring the workloads and adjusting the capacity for your databases. And capacity is adjusted automatically based on the application demand. So that's your choice of relational database if you want to deploy a database on a serverless infrastructure. If your design or use case needs a NoSQL database, then your serverless database choice is most probably DynamoDB. So Amazon DynamoDB, it is a fully managed NoSQL database service that provides fast and predictable performance with seamless scalability. And DynamoDB, it lets you offload all the administrative burdens of operating and scaling a distributed database so that you don't have to worry about hardware provisioning, setup and configuration, replication, software patching, or cluster scaling, etc. So if your design or use case needs a NoSQL database, then your serverless database choice is going to be DynamoDB. Okay? So if you put all of these tiers together in a single architecture diagram, this is how it looks like. So users will access a domain name via Amazon Route 53 service. Route 53 is a highly available and scalable domain name system web service offered by AWS. Route 53 connects the user requests to internet applications which are running on AWS, or also provides the support for on-premises application as well. So in this architecture, Route 53 will receive the request and will forward the request to CloudFront, and then CloudFront serves the user interface from the S3 bucket. Once user accesses the web user interface, the user can perform different available operations on that UI. So when user performs the operation on that UI, application tier is invoked by the web tier, and being specific, combo of API gateway and Lambda provides the application tier capabilities in the form of APIs. Right? And this application tier communicates with data tier to create, read, update, and delete the records or the entries in the database of your choice. It could be Aurora serverless or could be DynamoDB based on your use case. So that's all I have for this video. I hope this was useful. If you would like to connect with me on LinkedIn or Medium, there are QR codes up on the screen. You can scan those QR codes and connect with me on LinkedIn or Medium. Thank you. I'll be back with some another tech video pretty soon. Thank you.